Okay, Incubate Vegas, we're halfway there. We're making progress. And so for this midpoint check-in, we wanted to get you guys more comfortable speaking in front of other people. So please check in if you haven't already. So this is kind of called the flipped classroom. And so we're going to move on to the next slide. First, we have what is the rest of things look like. So today is the midpoint check-in, and then Wednesday we're going to have legal strategy and a mentor session. And then next Monday, oh, I'm sorry, next Monday is a holiday. So we do not meet on the 17th. We do meet on the 19th. So we're going to cover pitch decks and then have a mentoring session over at CSN. And then the following Monday, Mark Stiving's coming down from Reno, and he will talk to us about pricing strategies. And we will have somebody calling in on Wednesday for sales and financials, and then a mentoring session. We've got David Yokin going to do a supply chain class on March 3rd, and then we have pitch practice on March 5th, and we have our demo days on the 7th and 8th, and we have corrected the issue we had last time. So you should be able to scan at the end of today's session and sign up for your pitch time. Okay, we can move on now to the next one. Okay, so this really is all about you guys. So we are going to go around the room. Don't leave if you're worried about doing this. Just let me know that you don't want to do it in the chat. You can send me a private message, I think. But these are the sessions that we've had so far, the entrepreneurial journey and why you're doing this, what inspires you, and what you hope to get out of your business. Then we covered the business model canvas, that 9 blocks of information that condenses what used to be a 30-page business plan into one piece of paper where it's easy to scratch it out and redo it and modify it and keep it up to date. Then we talked about the customer discovery 2-part process. And then last Wednesday, we talked about markets, TAM, SAM, and SOM. So now we're going to ask you to teach us all this stuff. What have you learned and how does it apply for you specifically in your business? So Jennifer, unfortunately, you're the person I see first on my screen, so you get to go first.
I'll unmute so I quit talking to myself.
Yeah, good.
All right. So, my why for doing this is, I've worked in nonprofit for 34 years. Um, and my contract is coming to an end in June. So I'm looking at a new path forward. One of the ways that I'd like to move forward is to take all of the experience and knowledge that I've gained in the 34 years of working with nonprofits and start my own business so that I could support other small businesses doing things the way that I want to do them. And that's creating, a business that's focused on care and not just money, focused on solving a problem, and helping them to ease some of the administrative problems so that they can focus on their passion work. Because I know from working in nonprofit, doing what you're passionate about is what makes it amazing to go to work every day. So the other piece of my why is in those 34 years, I've worked mostly with childcare providers, and I found that they're really great with working with young people and taking care of the biddies so that they can, help working parents, but they're horrible business people. They don't keep good records. They don't know the administrative part of their business. So I would like to work with small businesses like that who need the infrastructure to support them and help them grow and sustain their passionate work that feeds our communities. So that's why I'm doing this. Um, I did the business model canvas, and I'm trying to find my document. Um, but basically, the cost of my business is really just putting the pieces together. So like training materials and if they need, I do done for you services. So if they need a parent handbook or they need a HR handbook or employee onboarding materials, training decks, things like that, um, those would be my costs. Um, And then, I'll have a menu of services that they can choose from. I have partners for bookkeeping, HR, IT, marketing. Um, and, I've been in training for a really long time, so we can do all of those different pieces for them. My customer is other small businesses. I don't want to work with corporate people because most of the time they have in-person or I'm sorry, employees that can help them with that. But small businesses are often, run by just a few people and they need more support. So that's where my focus is. Um, and I have to look at my notes for the markets. I'm sorry, I'm talking.
That's okay.
I didn't have a plan.
I know
I
we
got called
flipped
on
this on
first.
you.
That's
Um,
okay. But
yeah.
yeah, that's essentially what I want to do.
And I think that there are probably a lot of people who haven't had the opportunity yet to really dig into their market information. If they may have asked Patrick if he can help them, but they may not have gotten very far. So you don't have to worry about that. But I'm kind of interested in the impressions that you're having about your market, that maybe you're learning that your market is more narrow than you thought, or maybe it's bigger than you thought. So you don't have to give me the actual market numbers. Just if you've discovered something about your market, you can tell us about that.
Actually, my market is bigger than I thought it was. I found out that a majority of businesses in the United States are considered small businesses, and that's millions of businesses across the country. So my audience is quite large. There's lots of different industries that could use the services that I'm providing. Every small business needs a bookkeeper to keep their books straight, regardless of what kind of business they're in. Every small business has HR needs if they have any kind of employees. Every small business needs IT services if they want to use technology to help them be more efficient and to streamline their services to make it possible for them to do more with less. And every business needs help marketing so they can get in more customers to use their services. So everything that I'm doing for small businesses can be translated across whatever industry um, that I'm working with.
Okay.
So,
That's good. You should just remember, though, that when you're talking about like the federal definition of a small business, it's like 500 employees and below. So that's still a bigger business than I think you're targeting.
yeah, I'm targeting businesses that are more like under 50 people, like very small businesses,
Yeah.
that are kind of in niche markets like restaurants or daycare centers, small community-based businesses, mom and pop businesses that need help with their infrastructure. That's really who I'm passionate about working with and helping them be more successful.
Wonderful. Okay, you have a good direction you're going in. Um, I see Amina. Are you ready to talk tonight?
Well, as a life and clarity coach, I focus on guiding people through life transitions, particularly during times of loss or transformation. My method is nice, but asking the right questions to help my clients discover their own solutions. So it's a way to empower them to make their own decisions. So I offer one-on-one coaching, group sessions, and community events. And so I'm finding out that there's a really big need for help when it comes to grief.
Okay. Partners, the business model canvas, who are you going to try to partner with?
I was thinking about business to business, so I'm going to work with HR departments. I also want to offer one-on-one coaching as well.
Yeah, you mentioned business to business. I wonder, though, if this was something offered from the business, would they feel like they were displaying weakness in front of their employer if they sought help from you?
That's a good question.
Mm.
That's something that I need to think about.
Yeah, that's one of those good questions for customer discovery.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So your market, you're still uncertain about your market, whether you're going to go to direct to consumer or if you're going to try to offer something through employers. There's a way to do it because, employers offer health insurance, and part of that is counseling and chiropractic and all these things, and nobody else needs to know what the employee is doing. Yes, Andrew has posted in the chat. Many employers have employment-sponsored therapy, confidential. Yeah. So, and I think grief counseling does fit into that. You're right, Andrew.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
Hey,
you. Amina, anything else you wanted to add?
no, nothing else right now.
Okay, excellent. Who else is ready to share?
I'll share if that's okay.
Yes, who's talking? It's Chosen.
Chosen.
Okay, great.
Yeah, how you guys doing today? I'm the founder of Feral Analytics. We reason why I'm doing this because I'm really big on the environment in terms of leaving it better for our kids. Um, we've seen a lot of systems, and I'm sorry, my daughter is running behind me. So if anyone has girls, she's gonna follow me around the house. So give me 1 second. Let me get into a better place.
Well, we're not hearing her, if that's what you're worried about.
Not yet. She's not screaming yet, but she's about to. Um, Hold on 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm really big into affecting the environment. I think it's very important that we leave the environment in a better place than we get it for our kids and future generations to make sure the earth is sustainable long term, to make sure we have resources that can sustain in the population going forward. Business model wise, we are a data analytics company, yet we model energy conversion systems from an environmental perspective. So to give you an example, we're launching a project in Las Vegas to distribute water underground using gravity. And so we're modeling how water is currently produced in current systems, how they use fossil fuels to generate pumps to move that water through certain systems, and then how that water conversion is converted via kinetic energy and electricity, and so on and so forth. Business model wise, we are targeting municipalities and governmental grants. We have submitted an LOI to the Department of Energy, so we're going after SBIR and STTR grants as well. We have submitted to a couple of Tech World conferences, MIT World Solve, Y Combinator, and TechStars as well, just to get more eyes on our research and projects. We are launching a doctoral thesis around the project itself, as well as starting a provisional patent. The way that I'm pursuing in reference to the business model is to get a little bit more validation from the academic side via either a grant from a municipality or a research joint venture with an academic university, and then leverage that credibility to say, hey, to go to the local or state office and say, hey, we have support from the government. We would like to initiate this project to reduce carbon emissions and your cost savings for water transport. From a customer discovery aspect, that would put us kind of like I want to say B to G. where we're dealing mostly with government municipalities. Our TAM, SAM, and SOM is really large. We're looking at a total addressable market of about 2 trillion, which is global water and energy infrastructure. Serviceable addressable market about 150 billion, as we're dealing mostly with regions that have high elevation or regions that are in deserts where water seems to be scarce. In our SOM, our SOM, we're starting with the U.S. Southwest. So we're highlighting Arizona, we're highlighting California, we're highlighting Nevada, Utah, a lot of the desert areas, and then piloting there as a proof of concept, and then global expansion. So that would put us at about 2 billion, 10 billion for a SOM market.
So Chosen, do you know about the Southwest Sustainability Engine that's out of the University of Arizona?
Yeah, so I was
Okay.
I've been referred there. We're talking with UNLV in relation to that now.
Cool. I think that's a good avenue for you to explore.
Yes,
You never
ma'am.
know where that one might lead.
You know, every opportunity that you take always can lead to a bigger opportunity. So I'm always open for um, taking as many as I can, because at the end of the day, the more eyes that get on this project, the more we can help the environment, and that's the biggest thing that I want to do, is just help people, and I can help people in that space.
Cool. Okay, thank you. Who else is ready to share? I see, Edward, you are no longer muted. You want to talk?
Hey, this is Juan Rangel. If you like me, I can go.
Well, Leanne raised her hand
Oh, okay.
too, but
Sorry.
I just noticed that Edward was unmuted, but I don't see him. Maybe he actually doesn't have the ability to share. All right, Leanne, let's go to you. Edward, we can come back to you. Go ahead, Leanne.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So I mentioned a little bit briefly a couple of meetings ago what our business was. And I had put a question in the chat, but it hadn't been answered yet. So my business partner and I, we are still in the very initial stages. And what we were looking at is possibly manufacturing healthcare saline here in Nevada, which of course is a very huge project to undertake. Can we do our pitch deck maybe at another cohort rather than this one, because we're still really just getting started on doing some of our market analysis and all of that?
Yeah, you can join the next cohort. That'll start May 15th, I believe.
So you have to do the whole cohort all over again, or if we've completed this one.
Well, yes, you can. Well, we give you about a week after the cohort ends to get your presentation in, but you can just give us what you know so far.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can give you what we know so far, and that
Okay.
is, so I'm a 30-year retired federal employee with in healthcare, mainly in the clinical laboratory, blood banking, and of course, you use healthcare saline every time you have to hang a blood product. My business partner is currently a nurse manager of an infusion center, and they use saline when they hang just about everything. And there was a hurricane recently that hit North Carolina, and it knocked out the Baxter manufacturing plant, which does about 60% of healthcare saline. And I did a little bit of research, and I knew this was not the first time that this has happened. I remember a couple of years ago, there was a similar issue when they had trouble getting plastics for the plastics bags and all of that. On the 27th of January, I checked, and there is still a significant shortage of all saline products. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Of course, we're looking at where do you get the water, how do you manufacture it, getting a warehouse, and FDA inspections, because you need to do good manufacturing practices and a whole bunch of other things, OSHA all of that. So like I'm saying, we realize this is a very large project. Um, but and of course, you know, like I said, where do you get water here? But it's something that we are both very passionate about, is taking care of our patients. And why is it that there's only one other place, and it's in Irvine, California, that manufactures maybe 20% and they can't keep up? And why do we continue to have these shortages? And I saw an article from that was written in 2018, and I reached out to the University of Utah people that wrote it, and he said that actually saline is one of the top drug shortages that is very concerning. So I guess that kind of supports continuing to look at this. The TAM is, of course, you know, any healthcare provider that uses saline, which would be hospitals, standalone ERs, oncology centers, cancer centers, infusion centers, all of that. So that would be the TAM. What we're looking at initially is just looking at the Northwest area, Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, maybe Utah, um, and also looking at possibly concentrating on federal healthcare, such as the VA and or you know the DHA, the Defense Health Agency, which is what they're calling it now, because I am a disabled veteran, and we can get, you know,
Yes, it's very good to go for that certification.
right, right. So that's kind of where we're at right now. You know, what we've been looking at, what we're considering, and as I said, it's we realize it's a huge project. It may never work out, but
Well, let me tell you something. There is a group at UNLV that has a device that is supposed to convert, even if there's only 10% humidity, it's supposed to convert water from the air. And so
nice.
they have some scheduled sort of trials going on, but you and they may be a natural partnership.
Right. And the other thing that I'm looking at is I haven't had a chance to go back and look it up again, but I know in 2026, California is they've passed a law already, and in January of 2026, certain plastics can no longer be used in healthcare bags except for blood products. So that may affect the manufacturing as well, depending on what those plastics are that they will no longer allow to be used in healthcare fluid bags in California. So California alone is a huge market.
It is a huge market. It's a very regulated market, though. So, like, maybe hearing that, maybe the thought should be, let's avoid California.
Well, I mean, it would be very nice. I was reading something recently. There's a guy at UNLV who wants to pass a law to quit using plastic cutting boards in restaurants here in Nevada, because of the microplastics. And that's what California is really concerned about, is the microplastics. So, you know, another thought for later on is, can we come up with a better bag to put these things in that could be used,
Okay.
that don't have the plastics for that everyone is so concerned about, because it's not going to be just California.
Okay, Leanne, tell me your last name so I can introduce you to the
Oh,
waiver
sure.
guy.
It's Beasley, B as in
Beasley. Okay.
boy, Easley.
All right. I will introduce you guys tomorrow.
And my partner is Trisha Harper. She's
Okay.
on here too, but we're
I'll
not together.
I'll copy you both. Okay.
Thank you so much.
All right, great. Who wants to go next? Juan, you raised your voice before.
Sure.
Let's
How
go
you
with
doing?
Juan. Okay.
How you doing,
Hi.
Maggie?
Good. How you doing?
Great. So I'm Juan Rangel, and the why I'm doing this business. So there's many whys. My main reason, um, I also am a veteran. I retired after 30 years, and I've been working in the nonprofit and private industry for the last 5 or 6 years. So my why is more control of my on my own schedule, my own independence, autonomy, and also to be able to provide quality jobs for people in our community, and to be able to provide business owners a quality product as well. Um, uh, in the business model Canvas, it's actually a very good tool, and I really like it. Prior to attending the course, I actually started on a business plan, and I kind of been using the um, the model in conjunction with my business plan to help grow it. And it's just been a great tool, and it's definitely brought some insights. So, for example, under my customer segments, initially I had medical, healthcare, corporate offices, warehouses, distribution, and government, and I realized right off the bat I'm not going to be able to provide everything at once. So, with the help of my mentor and feedback and everything and what I've been listening to, I'm going to scale it. What can I provide right now when I first open, as opposed, and then what do I want to provide later on? And what I'm providing to businesses, what makes me unique to businesses the value proposition to businesses, basically I'm going to be providing, quality product, providing cleaning services, commercial cleaning services, but also communications. Two of the biggest things that industry in general across the United States have complained about commercial cleaning is communication and quality control. Well, with my background in the military after 30 years, communications and quality control and following up and training that's like my forte, right? So I'm using my past experiences to leverage an industry. So what that is, what I'll be providing my clients are communications, quality control, and trained personnel. So I intend on having a very detailed training plan, and my training plan will also be scaled as I grow, right? My ultimate goal eventually would be to do medical facilities, and within the medical facility fields, there's the front of house medical offices, like small offices. But when you get to surgical centers, there's more quality, there's more certifications involved with that. Initially, I wouldn't be able to do that, but eventually I hope to get to that point so I can train and certify my personnel. Key partnerships will include other cleaning or janitorial commercial cleaning companies so I can leverage. So, for example, if I do not have the ability to offer a service, I plan on partnering with other companies that do offer that service so I don't miss a beat. Once I grow to the point where I can offer it, eventually I'll scale up and have the equipment and trained personnel to offer their services. But I've already began conversations with other business owners that I can leverage to use those tools and offer those services. In addition to that, the key partnerships would also be property managers, construction companies, healthcare facility managers, not the outpatient care ones, but the smaller offices, and then also government procurement offices. Eventually, I do plan on applying for veteran owned business status and applying for government contracts if they're still available at the time.
Why
With
are you
that,
waiting to get that certification?
well, I haven't done my EIN and my
Oh,
LLC
okay.
yet, so I'm
Okay.
waiting for the next class and just see. I think you have a class on
Entities, yeah, on
entities,
Wednesday.
and I already kind of know what I want. I'm 99% sure, but I want to do that class, and that way I scale it up. I work a full-time job and I'm also retired, so I have the ability
Oh,
to
now wait a
scale it.
minute. How can you work a full-time job and also claim to be retired
I'm retired for the military,
from
so
the
I'm retired.
military? Okay.
So with that said, I have the luxury or the leverage to be able to start and adjust my start time.
Okay.
But once I start, there won't be no stopping me. Um,
Okay.
Customer discovery. With the customer discovery in the TAM and SAM, um, as of 2024, across the United States, there's approximately 1,435,000 cleaning companies across the United States. And that's everything. And it really depends on where you get your data, but where I found my data, that was the number. Um, and that's including residential and commercial and everything in between. When you come into the SAM, where I was able to find some data, we have approximately 15,594 total cleaning, janitorial, and companies that offer some type of service, carpet cleaning and all that, all bundled up. In Nevada, it's a 873 million dollar industry. And then as far as the SOM, I wasn't able to get the data to break it down for commercial cleaning in Clark County.
Okay, well, for the sum, we're looking for a projection of our sales. So it's sum is really hard to get to because you have to figure out, you kind of have to do all of this financial analysis, right? How much are you going to spend on marketing so that you can gain market share? What are you going to charge? You don't really know what it's going to, you don't need to know what it's going to cost you because SOM is just the top line revenue.
Okay.
But you
So
have
with
to have
that,
a plan. Yeah.
yeah, so thank you for the clarification. So with that, on my initial business plan, I did have a projection. Um, However, your classes had me actually go back and take a closer look at, is that projection realistic? Initially, my projection, once I opened up, was acquiring 20 to 40 customers or 20 to 30 customers, and it was going to be about a 350 gross for the first year, and then grow at a 20% increase every year afterwards, gross profit. However, based off my projections to start my company, in order to scale it with what I'm able to offer, I reduced the projections to more realistic with the goal, with the expectation of exceeding my initial projections.
Okay. What I worry about when I hear about your plans, I love that you have big plans and there are lots of different sort of niche customers that you could go for. And so I would urge you to find out which customers have the greatest need that are dissatisfied with their current cleaning situation so that you can spread by word of mouth among that industry. Um, Trying to be all things to all people can get you kind of going down these rabbit holes like, oh, I need this certification to talk to that market, or I need these kinds of cleaners for this type of market. So I think you can be a little bit more targeted. I mean, you want to take business as it comes, but if you can find this niche where people are very unhappy with their current service, then that's a one that's right for disruption that you might be able to focus on and specialize in.
I like that. Thank you for the feedback.
Okay. All right. And let's see. Hesh Quarters has his or her hand up.
This is Tone here.
I'm sorry, your name again?
Tone.
Okay. Great. Go ahead, Tone.
Okay. So I'm a little bit behind, but I just want to go over what I do have and then see if you guys can help me get some more clarification.
Okay, hang on. Joel, I will get to you next. Go ahead, Tone.
Okay. So why am I doing this? Or do I need to explain my business first?
Yes,
Okay.
so that we're clued in.
Okay, I got you. All right, so my business is Headquarters, which is Headquarters Showroom. I always grew up being a creative, you know. So I turned Headquarters into being a retail store for clothing brands. And now I am turning it into more of a private showroom so that I can have a more niched or, private clientele just to target them a little bit more and work with, things such as stylists or people who do wardrobe for movies and things of that nature. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to bridge the gap for brands from idea to distribution. So helping them with, we can help you with, idea creation, whether it's products, but we can also help you with getting connected with fulfillment centers to, handle the logistics side of your business, but also help you with getting connected with other retailers so that you're not limited to, I would say, just a direct to consumer audience. You can also build a B2B audience. And that's definitely something I need a little bit more clarification on because you did comment on my submission and you kind of touched on that like it wasn't clear enough. But for the problems that I'm solving is I'm trying to solve the gap where being a creative, it's kind of hard to scale up. Most people don't take it serious, and it's kind of hard to get into retail stores. Whether you're selling clothing, whether you're selling, beauty products, furniture, all these different things. So I feel like the problem I want to solve is helping people, cut down their overhead uh, by, what am I trying to say? Cut down their overhead by not investing so much up front. And that's where my business will come into where I can help them with inventory syncing and things of that nature. This might be a little, mixed up. Um, what makes my products or services unique? I feel like what makes us unique is that we have a very creative driven team that is helping these people, I guess you would say so. Where we're not just the people who, we're not just trying to necessarily just giving you business advice, but we're also can help you as a consumer and a creative. So we're helping them get from, I guess, not A to Z, but providing multiple services for them. How will I reach my customers? This would definitely be, well, I feel like this is where I need clarification on, should I target more of a direct to consumer audience like I previously was, or should I target the B2B audience, which I know is more beneficial in my point of view, but I feel like I would be missing out on having a marketplace for the direct to consumer because that's what I come from, something I've already built. So that's definitely something I feel like I need some help with. I don't know if this is making any sense to you guys.
Yeah, but when you describe your business, it sounds more business to business, more kind of the
I think
back end rather than direct to consumer.
Yeah, I think it is business to business, but I think it may appear to the public as direct to consumer. You know,
Is your showroom going to be open to the trade, or is it going to be open to everybody?
I think I'll do it more privately, but the thing is that the products will be able to be purchased as well, direct to consumer. But I want to help the brands and the companies go B2B. Does that make sense?
Yes, you should think in terms of B2B.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you for that clarification. But again, on the channels, I think social media, websites, things of that nature, for reaching my audience. I'm actually going, to Magic Trade Show and stuff like that this week. I've always attended that, when I have my store, my own brands. Customer relationships, how I interact with my customers, emails, SMS, notifications. That's something that's very big in my industry. Definitely stacking those lists up. I currently have an email list and SMS list of about 1,000 people. Customer relationships, or no, I just went over that, sorry. And then revenue streams. Like I said, I feel like the B2B, we kind of clarified that being a smarter way to target. But do you think there will be any confusion if I'm targeting businesses and brands that I want to work with, but I'm trying to sell their products as well through my marketplace?
I think you want to be really careful with your customers who are going to be these other vendors of clothing lines. You don't want to steal from their thunder, right? So you're going to have to set up an agreement with them where if somebody sees your product and they want to buy it, that you have their permission to sell it. But they own their product, right? So they're going to decide what their channels are.
No, most definitely. That makes sense. I think more on the showroom side when it comes to like fashion and stuff, it's more of me helping them go wholesale in a sense. So
okay.
That's why I was kind of confused about if I could, not if I could, but should I, target. Obviously, I'm going to target the businesses, but should I offer these same products through our own marketplace so that we can have, some daily cash flow as well?
Well, yeah, you need to do customer discovery on that.
Okay. All right, cool. I'll just leave it at that. Let somebody else talk, but I'll definitely work on this. I appreciate it.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tone. Over to Joel. And then I put an order in there. People have been raising their hands. So this is kind of how I captured the order in which people listed them. So Joel, whenever you're ready.
Okay, yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Joel Enriquez, and my wife, Olive Enriquez, is attending as well in this class. Our business has been for 30 years called Luna Design International, something we started way back in the Philippines. But now we want to pivot into manufacturing. Instead of doing designs for manufacturers like what we've been doing, we now want to design and develop products that we will manufacture, whether overseas or here in the United States, and then distribute. And by that, we mean using our graphic design experience to develop a line of disposable party wear. And it has a specific market because we noticed Filipino Americans here in Nevada, we have noticed that they really care so much about feeding people, about having backyard parties almost every weekend and celebrating important milestones. And whenever they do that, they try to put a little bit of native or Asian influence or to the look and feel of their party, whether it's arts and crafts or whatever. But we have noticed Filipinos have a very distinct relationship about the banana leaf. When they want to celebrate using a kind of a boodle fight where food is laid down on the table for everybody to just partake, they use the banana leaf as a liner for the table, real banana leaf. But then again, where we are now, it's very hard to source that. Sometimes you can go to an Asian store and buy banana leaf, but they're not the fresh and the clean one that you really want. So what we would be doing would be a product line wherein we will print the banana leaf into disposable plates, bowls, servers, and then expand that to include printing the whole banana leaf in tablecloths and disposable tablecloths and placemats and other things. In the near future, when we want to expand this further, we will go into packaging material. And by that, we mean to go containers of food that would be printed with the banana leaf as well, and other food containers. The we would be partnering with people like people who can do the promotion for us. Let me see. I have a list of the social media influencers, subscription boxes, direct sales, and B2B partnerships. In our 2 sessions with our mentor, what he had been driving us probably to focus and to focus all the time, to focus on our market, and he initially said he Googled, look, there are 4 million Filipino Americans in the United States. There's the whole United States. So I guess that will be our TAM.
Okay.
But if to work more realistically, there's a lot of Filipinos in great concentration in California, Nevada, Utah, and Arizona. So that would probably be our SAM. We don't have the figures yet. And for our SOM, it's going to be here starting in Las Vegas because of our affiliation with Filipino American associations and being officers of the Filipino American Chamber of Commerce. Myself, I'm the president, and my wife sits on the board of director. We could use that as a channel for promoting our product. Our mentor also said, just if you have a prototype, show it. But it happened that we have already spent our own money for an initial order of plates that we have printed on already and is being manufactured in overseas in China. So in 3 months' time, 10,000 units, because that's the minimum order quantity, 10,000 units of a 10-inch plate and 10,000 units of an 8.5-inch plate will come, and we will use those as samples to attract the customers in trade shows, in festivals, and in any Filipino gathering that we could attend. So having done that, we will now reach out to distributors, having told the market that we have this product for you and having their interest already, we will go to the distribution process, which would probably be Cisco or US Foods or any distributing outlets like that. So I just would like to underline the value proposition of the product line. Its cultural relatability. The designs would be inspired by diverse ethnic patterns, traditional motif, and color theme. And the value proposition also of convenience, because they're disposable yet stylish, answer also the hygiene and safety requirements of serving and serving food, and sustainability because they're going to be made from biodegradable, compostable, or recycled material. So
Wow.
basically, we're saying they are affordable luxury, but because of our experience in graphic design, they will be stunning graphics that would be very attractive and would stand way above the generic paper plates that we buy in big stores.
I can't wait to see them. You said it's 3 months from now?
That's correct.
Okay.
April would be the target delivery. We just hope
Wonderful.
we don't get the 25% tariff on it.
Yeah.
That would trigger a price increase.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Joel. It's very exciting that you've placed your order. You know, you've committed now. You're in it.
Thank you.
Okay. Bakari?
Yes, I'm gonna begin. I'm already started for business because I used to do what I do as a volunteer for a long time, since 2008 to now. So I have a lot of experience. So I used to take a lot of American doctor and students to Mali, which is West Africa. So I used to get the visa, the booking, the hotel when we get the transportation for all your stay for 2, 3 weeks, and then 3 or 4 times a year. So now what I do, when people come, it become reverse. So a lot of people come to Las Vegas for convention. So they come for mining, solar convention is anywhere 30 to 45 people. And then also Mali, Senegal, anybody come to Business Vegas, I'm kind of the referral person. But what I do when they come, I help them to do the registration. I do the booking for the hotel. I help them with the side meeting, translating business to business. So now I used to do that all that for voluntary, but now I open a business, which is they call IB Global LLC. So now it's gonna do everything for fees. Like when they come in, help them with the registration from the airport to the hotel. And then from different, they ask you for African restaurant. I direct them to this area. So because I knew started as a business, because I used to do volunteer, so that's why I joined this out to learn making money and then looking for a partner. I do business to business facilitator. It's a lot of company in the United States. Also, they contact me if I know or that they match in Mali or the Mali company asking me to, what they need. So I try to connect business to business. But myself, I don't do import export. I do the connection. So I'm trying to do everything for free. That's why I joined to open. I'm very new to the business. I opened the LLC. That's why I start the name of the business startup. So that's why I come to participate to get
Oh,
some help and experience.
yeah, that's great. So you're going to be a consultant for these people. You're like a facilitator.
Yes, I am.
Okay. That's great.
I'm doing that already for free, but I open the
No,
LLC so
don't
to
do it
make
for
a
free
money.
anymore.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
doing that for so many years for free. Now that's I tend to make a money out of it.
Good. Okay. Good. All right. Feline?
Hello.
Hi.
My name is Sophia. Um, we have a t-shirt brand and it's called Feline. It's a woman's t-shirt brand. Okay, so back to the questions at hand. So why I'm doing this? I'm doing this because I've always had like an entrepreneurial spirit. So I just kind of wanted to have something that I could create that I can pass down to my children, something that could possibly create generational wealth. Um, Basically that's my main why. My why is basically I just wanted to create generational wealth for myself and my family and possibly help others, you know what I mean, if it works out for us. So, um, like I said before, we are a t-shirt brand for women. I kind of pivoted a little bit as we started going through some of these exercises. But okay, so for our value propositions, I would say we sell women's exotic t-shirts. We are one of a kind, and we sell specialty fashion items and handmade accessories. I was thinking about creating stickers as well, so that was something else. If we had something to pair together, so if we wanted to make a combo or something, it would be like a pair of earrings and a t-shirt with a sticker, or two pair of earrings and a t-shirt and a sticker. But that's basically our thing. That's what we have. So our customer segments would be fashion leaders, our niche market, entertainers, or business moguls. Um, Customer relations, we would do pop-up events with interactive tie-dye parties. We would have fashion shows. And then I kind of created a foundation for like single moms. We also have a club for people that purchase, that like the shirts. So it would be, I call it the Babes Club. So we have like Feline Babes. Like you can just get, this is where you can come and get like discounts for the products, or like show videos or pictures or whatever if you wanted to share how you styled your t-shirt, or just different ideas if you wanted to share some type of experience that you were having as being a single mom. The channels that we would use would be social media. I want to have an e-commerce store. I would do brick and mortar, but right now I don't think I'm ready for it yet. Marketing shows, pop-ups, and ours, we would do direct to consumer, basically. Our key partners would be like fashion stylists. So I guess like my wish list would be like Jay Bolin, and then someone like Misa Hilton. Those are like popular fashion stylists in the industry right now that are kind of like popular and hot. My marketing director, I say, would be my partner, because I mean, without the marketing, I really wouldn't have any traction or anything. Nobody would know who we are. Department stores, local boutiques, manufacturers, and again, my e-commerce platform. The key activities that we would have would be, well, the key activities that I have now would be source out the manufacturing. I gotta find a photographer, models, makeup artists, get the t-shirts printed up, get the tags. I need to make sure all the legal issues are taken care of. We need to build relationships with the stylists and the influencers, and talk to a couple of local stores and boutiques and see if they would be interested in some of the products.
Did you say you were going to bundle earrings and things? Are you making the earrings too, or are you just sourcing some that would go with your shirts?
I actually make them. I hand make the earrings.
Oh, wow. Well, that's a lot of work.
Right. So that's why I found a manufacturer to kind of help me out with the t-shirts. So I make the earrings and the accessories. So I found a manufacturing that will, like, I can make. So here's the thing. When I first started it started out as a hobby, and I would take like a regular plain t-shirt and I would cut it up and I would wear it. So I've got a lot of people liked it. A lot of, I mean, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, that's cute, you know? So I was like, okay, well, let me just see if I can go further and so I just got into it a little bit more, and I started doing fashion shows and stuff like that. I would get a lot of good feedback. So I felt like I could make a business out of it. So instead of me cutting each and every t-shirt I would like to sell, I figured out we'll find a manufacturer that could take the shirt that I had cut, send it to the manufacturer, and let them duplicate it. And that will help me out with my time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So that's basically the idea. So what I pivoted to though was making it more of like, because you know how when people come to Vegas, they want to go to get a souvenir and take it back home. So our shop could be like basically a t-shirt shop, but it could be an interactive souvenir shop. You know what I mean? Like you come to our store You pick out a design that you want to use, and you can tie-dye your shirt yourself, or you could add like some beads or some type of material with like a hot glue gun or some beads or something like that. You can just design it yourself. That's basically if we had like a brick and mortar. But if we don't have a brick and mortar, which is what we have now, which would be an e-commerce, you can still pick and choose your items that you want online, and we can ship it to you, and you can make it at home yourself. And then you can post your picture or whatever of how you styled it and how you designed it. So that's kind of like, so that's basically how I pivoted.
Yeah, you have a brick and mortar now. You suggested that you might do pop-ups. I think doing the pop-ups for the tie-dyes and for the souvenir type things, I think that might be a good way to test that market without signing any kind of lease. You know, rent is never ending.
Right. So
Okay.
that's basically my idea, and that's kind of how I pivoted to make it more interesting.
Thank you, Sophia. That's great.
So yeah, I would use the pop-ups as like a way to interact with the community as well. So I'm just gonna keep on going. So my key resources would be models, makeup artists, influencers, fashion stylists, and the marketing director. The cost structure would be pop-up registration fees, manufacturing and products, the manufacturing and for the products, the paying for the models and the photographer, the packaging for the products, the tags, the e-commerce, platform fees, the app fees that you need to make the platform work properly, the printing fees, the shipping fees. And then once I get employees, I would have to pay my employees.
Sure.
My marketing director, order and processing, packing and shipping, and the legal fees and the legal team. And then once I get a brick and mortar, of course, that will be, and then the table and the display at the pop-up. So that's basically the cost structure. My revenue streams would be my products, like the t-shirts and the handmade accessories. And then having them interact. So the interactive activities. And then I guess from our subscription fees. And then we have Mom's Foundation. So kind of like interacting with other people who would like to be a part of the foundation.
Okay. Well, thank you. Annabelle, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And you guys are all being really patient and waiting, so I appreciate it.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Annabelle Baldwin. My background is in nursing. Been in healthcare for about 15 years. I'm a veteran spouse who's currently disabled. Why am I doing this? I started this because I saw the need for starters from healthcare, but even before I saw the need in healthcare, I grew up with with products that were organic. So moving to America, the products that were available were quite different. So I started to realize real quick that my skin will flare up as a result. And then I had kids. All the same thing. One actually ended up in the hospital one time because of it. So this got me thinking. I remember what my grandmother used to do. She made body oils, butters, ointments. It didn't matter what was wrong. She had a recipe for it, and it worked every single time. So I started doing this because I saw a problem, and I wanted to bring a solution to that market, to that problem, because I looked for solutions and never found. The ones that I found were either in Europe and were too expensive to sustain long term for me and my 3 kids. My husband, on the other hand, he's fine. His skin is okay. But because of how I grew up, and they took a lot of genes from me, so they ended up sharing a lot of skin issues that I had. So, I talked about why I'm doing. I was kind of looking at the screen and she changed it. But I was so that's why we started, and that's why, thank you. That's why how we started doing this. I've been doing this for my kids, for my family, and it's been working. Well, I realized the more I spoke to people, the more people I saw at the hospitals, at the nursing homes, that was a common problem, skin issues. Um, one in at least every five persons I spoke to had either eczema, brittle skin, or both. And living in Las Vegas, Nevada, severe dry skin is one of the things you will discover moving to Vegas. So the products that we've used hasn't worked. The biggest name that we know of that it's popular in Vegas and other places in America has a lot of perfumes, dyes, and chemicals that I also and my kids reacted to. So figured, what do we do? How do we solve this? So I started looking more into what has always worked, but also how to make this available to others. Took it to, we tested the market. How did we test the market? There was an event at my son's school. We tested it. People liked it. The response was amazing. And we were able to get a price point. We were able to get also a feedback on the quality of the product. Also get a feedback on if it did what we said it was going to do. Weeks later, we were still having people say, oh, my son had eczema flared up. Oh, I gave this to my grandpa. Now that's all they use. So I got feedback like that. And it basically gave me faith in what I was doing. Because it's one thing to know if something works. It's one thing for your family to tell you that it works. But when total strangers walk up to you telling you that it works, you know you have something. But also, we were also concerned about the price market. Is it something that somebody will be willing to buy? Well, a little tub of body butter at Bath and Body Works costs you between $20 and $25. And it's a body butter base, which means it has everything but really the butter, or very little percentage of the actual butter. It's also emulsifiers and other fillers to kind of get that consistency. So what are we doing different? We've partnered with farmers, and we're hoping to partner with more people in West Africa, Ghana, Nigeria. We're looking at East Africa as well, Kenya, Uganda, to reach out to more farmers and communities that actually farm this. Why is this important? The way the product is made, the way the plant is farmed also is important, because that's what preserves and the healing properties in shea butters, cocoon butters, mango butters, cocoa butters. These are all the things we put in our ingredients. That emu oil that's coming from Australia. We have also some mango butters coming from Indonesia. Why is this important? Because that's what makes the products effective. That's basically the key ingredients that make the products work, that helps with the healing. What does our products do? We have healing lines for arthritis, joints, and also, of course, we started with hydration. Just wanted to solve hydration problems, because if your skin is hydrated, we know that our elderly patients, our aged population, will have less skin tears, which why do I know that? Because I work with a lot of them, and half of them are on blood thinners. I want to say 99% of them are on blood thinners. What do blood thinners do? They thin the blood. And if you know anything with patients on blood thinners, their skins are ripping easily and they're bruising. So our goal was to make something that helped hydrate their skin, but also with less friction on their body. And we succeeded in doing that. That's what we call our healing line. We have an anti-inflammatory line. Why did I come up with that? I had a patient that had oxygen mask, but it just kept inflaming her nose. She applied Vaseline for months and it never healed, it got worse. So I made something and it worked. So this is what we're doing. This is our customers, as partners that we're more like the customers that we've partnered with, that we've tested the products on. Right now, we're selling from farmers markets. We're selling online. And the beauty of that is you get to talk to people. They tell you what their needs are, and you're able to improve or see what needs to be added to the line. Also, in Las Vegas, Nevada, this is a retirement place, which means we're going to have a lot of home health cares. We have a lot of 55 and older communities. We have a lot of facilities that are geared towards the elderly. And we would love to partner with people that actually have a leg up in those communities to be able to introduce these things to those communities. And then we did a research. How much does home health facilities spend on body cares? Well, the average is $70 per person, $70 to $100 per person. And they spend in a week about $4,000, in a month about $18,000. And that's per facility, just body care. And why is this important? Because based on the vulnerability of this patient, again, what the needs are very specific. So if we can get into those markets with what we have, we don't need to do much to change what we already have. We can actually give them something at the price they're already paying, but for better quality product. The body butter business is about a $1.87 billion industry in America, and it's thriving. We have people that are more concerned about what they put on their bodies, and that market also is growing. We're also we do, of course, we do farmers market, but also conventions. We're hoping to do more conventions this year. I'm trying to see key resources. One of the things we're focused about is with all these connections around the world, when it comes to sourcing, import and export, it's a big topic. Learning how to navigate that world with the amount of imports we would like to be, with the amount of products we would like to be importing, especially from raw materials to finished products, trying to do that not just effectively, but also in a cost-effective way. That way, our products still stay affordable. The average tub of tallow butter or shea butter, the tallow butter, I want to say, just the basic plain starts at $15, and we're offering something even way better. Our products contain herbs and natural essential oils and essences from plant extracts. We don't use any artificial dyes or coloring in our products. So this is basically where we are. I believe I talked about our streams of income.
Yeah, it sounds like a really nice natural product.
Yes. So that's where we are right now.
Great. Thanks for sharing. Okay, next up, I have Revly. Are you still with us?
Ma'am, how you guys doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. My name is Reverend Lee Arnay. I am a pastor. I'm also a chaplain, and I'm also a Black man of trans experience. And so one of the things that I'm here to offer is wedding planning slash funeral planning. One wedding first, and then eventually go into the funeral service. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've noticed that as far as the weddings and doing weddings and stuff of that nature, there's only been one venue or one venue that's people of color. That's all, that's owned by people of color. And I don't know of any queer or trans venues that are offering this type of thing. Also, doing weddings and stuff. As far as the business model goes, let me see. The reason why, what is it I'm trying to say? Oh, the customers that I want to attract, of course, everybody who comes to Las Vegas because it's the wedding capital of the world. However, I feel that being able to say that it's trans-owned and Black-owned, that would also attract other customers, specific customers who would like to have their event a little more special, a little more personal, and feel a lot more comfortable. Let's see. And my partners would be the Wedding Chamber of Commerce, the other venues such as the Echelon. I already do work with her, with them, and then other churches that might offer that offer LGBTQ services as well. Hotels, of course, and then yeah, that's basically it. And then as well as so what are we doing that's unique besides serving the community? We're also going to provide transportation, such as party bus for people who are for the brides and the grooms and their party, their wedding party, as well as transportation to and from both the weddings and to and from the funeral homes. Let's see, what's next? Key activities would be event planning, going to vendors, soliciting other vendors just in case they didn't like what I have to propose, just to make sure we have other resources and other people that we can also use.
Okay, you guys remember the ad lib? The ad lib only was a couple of sentences. So this company provides this service to these customers.
Right.
So to provide value, we will partner with these people, and these people, our expenses will be this, and then our revenue streams will be this.
Okay.
All right. Have you done any customer discovery out there, Revely, to talk to?
We did do customer discovery prior to this class. We had already started our customer discovery by going to a big convention where we not only told people what our plans were, but we also had flyers and stuff of that nature. And people were very interested in making sure that they wanted to know when we would have that service started.
Cool. That's great. Okay. And weddings are a big business in Las Vegas.
Yes, number one. So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Well, thank you for sharing. Matthew, you're up next.
Awesome. Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Rangel. So I've been working on a digital marketing company for the past 2 years, kind of like a freelance project outside of my 9 to 5. So my typical job right now is I'm on the State Farm team. So if you've ever seen those State Farm commercials, I'm on the team behind those commercials. So, running on NBA, NFL, all over different media networks, etc. So before that, started off in a SaaS company where I learned a lot about business development, marketing automation, can go on. But, really when it comes down to it, started to figure out that, I wanted to market to businesses that I was passionate about. So one thing I'm passionate about is health and wellness. So when it comes to what I do outside of work, working out, doing yoga, meditating, eating well, organic, using, awesome products to make my life better, to improve my health. So I want to kind of gear my marketing knowledge and my expertise towards helping wellness brands scale their impact through marketing systems, strategic partnerships, and engaged communities. So transforming their passion for helping others into, really growing their business. So this is going to be done through marketing automation and streamlining, So anything from email marketing, social media management, workflow automation, content creation. Number two, partnership development and growth. So outreach, relationship building, collaborative campaign development, cross-promotion strategies. And number three, building their community and brand. So user-generated content, social proof cultivation, and really, getting to helping them tell the story of their brand, which is really how these companies make an impact online. So, by combining this strategic thinking with practical execution, I want to be able to create an efficient and scalable marketing system to help wellness brands focus on what they do best, changing lives. Um, so I'll be partnering with freelancers, white label agencies, influencers, media networks. Um, I'd love to grow this into an agency with employees, but really just starting off on my own would be just me, kind of with this kind of vision.
You sound pretty knowledgeable. So I think so you get to explore your passion for wellness and exercise, but then you're also utilizing your marketing expertise. I think that's great.
Yeah, that's the goal. It took me a minute to kind of scale it down a little bit because, for a while I was really just taking on anyone, helping anybody, which is great. But, through through this program, it's kind of helped me realize that I need to focus on something more niche, and something that I'm passionate about is probably the best route.
Yeah, because if you develop a relationship in that field, then you don't have to, especially with marketing, you don't have to limit yourself to Nevada. You can work with anybody across the country. So you can build yourself a brand yourself as being a wellness marketing expert.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. Charlicia, you're next. All right. Is there anybody else who would like to share right now? We've gone over time already, but I don't want people to feel like they haven't had their opportunity.
I think we lost Charlicia.
Yeah. I think so, because if she was moving, she is frozen now.
I think that's a picture, but
oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. I remember talking to her in the first session. So she doesn't seem to have any trouble sharing. All right. Anybody else?
Thank you so much. Oh, and by the way, Maggie, I want to say you've done a great job with this whole curriculum. You're out here helping people. This is really impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maggie is our hero, absolutely.
Oh, no, it takes a village, it takes all of us to make it happen. But you guys all have such passion for what you're doing. And, if we can make it easier in any way, if we can just like help focus, that is often what's needed. And Joel, with your idea, banana leaves are beautiful. You don't have to limit yourself to Filipinos. I mean, anybody who likes a tropical vibe is going to like those things. Well, you're muted, but I can see your mouth moving. Yes, just like open yourself up to more.
Yes, actually, the intention is really to expand the market, not just the Filipino Americans, but Native Hawaiians, Pacific Islanders.
Yeah. Malaysian, yep.
That's correct, and other Asian cultures who relate to that kind of tropical vibe.
Yeah, Rukshana is part Fijian.
I'm Fijian. I am. That's why as soon as you said family, it kind of, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
And then I started the other ideas.
Thank you so much. That's very encouraging.
Thank you. All right, Charlotte's ready to go. Go ahead, Charlotte.
Hi, my name is Charlie Brown.
How cute.
That's what I go for. I'm in the production and information technology space. And one of the things that I have found when I'm working on production or when I'm involved in other people's production, communication is the hardest part of being able to make sure that the production runs smoothly. Everybody has their own personal email. You're working with several contractors. You're working with different vendors. And whoever the assistant is, they have to remember everybody's email address. Things aren't secure. Things are, people are texting personal cell numbers or are, the people that need the information aren't getting the information. My market or my product is to basically create a secure, unified communication environment where people would log in with the username, password. They would log into a domain for that production company. Everything would be secure. All communications would be captured. A structure could be set up. So say, for instance, if you needed to change something or a location or whether like we were going to work outside, but it's raining, we have to go inside. You don't have to go through a list and text everybody. You send out one message and that will reach everybody that needs to have that communication. Also, at the end of a production or an event or a conference, it usually takes 2 to 3 weeks closing out the project, because you have to communicate, or somebody didn't turn in this invoice, or somebody, you're chasing down people for any kind of timesheets or communications. It just makes it to where as soon as, if the project ends at 5 p.m. on Sunday, you can run your reports on Monday, know exactly how much you spent, how many people were on the project, how many people need to get 1099s, how many people, who you're going to use next time. You have captured everything in your own environment, in your own orb. And that is what the product is called. It's a secure orb where basically your project will grow from beginning to end. It's scalable. You can have 5 people, you can have 500 people. The thing is that it's completely interactive. You have your Zoom, you have your, what is the signature somebody had to DocuSign, you have chat, you have texting, everything is captured. So at any time, you can know if somebody sent out a communication, you know that it is safe and secure. So that's my product. As far as competition, there are, Zoom does its thing, DocuSign does its thing, MS Office does its thing, but it's not really all together. The thing is that there's no programming involved. There's no building something from scratch. If you start your project and you just have 3 people, but 3 weeks from now, you're going to have 55 people, it takes nothing to set up their accounts. They can log in with their phone, with their computer, with their iPad, any kind of communication device. Customer discovery, I have spoken to project managers, producers, investors. This is what they want. They don't want to have to remember, is this person Gmail, Hotmail, Earthlink? They just want to know, this is a project I'm working on, and these are the people involved. At any given time, you can know where every piece of communication is. My markets would start out, like say, for instance, the convention, or the weddings, or, t-shirt sales, or being able to go to, I've listened to everybody saying what they wanted to do, where they were going, what their business. Joelle, you were talking about your different, everybody having their different events. What it is that you would be able to, my initial market would probably be 5 to 7%, just to be able to show how it could work, to make adjustments, and everything is done on the fly. Plus there's technical support. If somebody, can't remember their password, no problem. If somebody wants to drop somebody because they're too much of a problem, no problem. They're locked out. They can't get back in. Everything is done in, what's the phrase? Everything is done yesterday. That's how soon anything to somebody's environment can happen. Anything to somebody's orb can happen. Scalable.
So Charlie, have you built this yet? Are you a coder? How are you making this happen?
It's the beautiful thing is there's no coding, there's no programming. I am a systems engineer, plus I'm also director, a writer, creator. I've done project management. I run all my productions. All of these products are available now. Like say, for instance, if you said, like you're using Zoom, but you want to be able to also interact in a different way. You want to be able to capture if somebody's emailing you, if somebody is, for this class, you want to be able to see attendance. You want to be able, the day that the class is done, the next day, you can find out, how many people were logging in, how often were they engaged. Any analytics that you would need would be available.
But can you demo this? Like,
yes.
You said that there's no coding, but does this product exist?
Yes, it is. And what most people would know is if you go to work and you have a home folder, or if you put in your username and password, you're going into an Active Directory environment. Your home folder, your group, your organizational unit, everything is already there. Now, we would be working in the cloud, which is Microsoft Azure. And it's just basically you have a virtual environment. So if you're working at home one day, but a week later you're going to be on site, you still have access to everything as if you were at home. So everything is virtual, everything is interactive, everything is up. It's in the cloud, it's 24/7, and it's very secure. You don't have to worry about being hacked. You don't have to worry about somebody accessing your information, especially if you have confidential information with your sellers, with your figures, anything that you need.
Okay, so have you done customer discovery?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and who is your ideal customer?
My ideal customer would be anybody that is a production manager, a project manager, or just, hey, I have a party of 25 people, but I have close to 15 different vendors or people that I'm hiring for that project. So you have temp workers, you have permanent workers, you have owners, anything that you need, they get a username, a password, and they're in your orb. And at any time that you need to reach them or they need to reach you, everything is captured. You don't have to worry about mistext or anybody, texting your personal email or your personal communications or calling you. Everything is done inside of your orb.
Well, that sounds really interesting. So you're going to have to condense this into a pitch. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm interested.
Well, the good thing about it is that this has been tried and true through over as long as Microsoft has been alive. Okay, this is something that isn't built from scratch. This is something that exists and is very familiar. Right now, people are used to using a username, passcode. Everybody is used to this. So it's not going to be unfamiliar to anyone. And the beauty is you don't have all these bits and pieces of scratches of paper or notes. Oh, where did I put that? Everything is existing in your orb. All your protons, neutrons, are right there where you need them. And when you're done, you just, my project's over, my production's over, and the next day you can run out all your financial reports, everything that you need.
Well, that sounds amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I'm looking forward to your demo.
Okay.
In chat, we had Asha, who was at work, but so she wanted to share a little bit. So I take it that she can't actually stop and speak. So she's got a spiked slushy company, and she realizes that there are some people who don't have they have some dietary restrictions and they can't always find something that works for them. And she's got 50 different customizable slushy flavors in both alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Okay. In order to provide value to our customers, we intend to partner with different venues, businesses, festivals, and other event coordinators who will in turn help us maximize the amount of potential customers that they're able to reach. That sounds reasonable, yeah. They're going to spend money on the ingredients, the equipment, marketing, and also labor. And they'll make money by selling traditional and customized slushies. And the upsell is the inclusion of alcohol. Yeah, when permitted. And the permit is the key. Okay, so she's got a large market. Let's see. This TAM is in people, but not yet in spend. Oh, but you are estimating in terms of slushies. Revenue, 8 to 12. Okay. So she's looking at a really huge business. Total of 76 to 153 million. And then her SAM, her available market is 7.6 to 30 million. And then SOM, she's doing it based on a 5 to 10% market capture. So 3.8 to 15 million in probably 5 years. All right, well, that sounds fun. Fun, Asha. Good luck. Okay. Charlicia, I'm going to give you one more chance. Are you around? Okay. Go ahead and advance to the next slide, Rakshana, if you will. Okay. I checked the demo day link that I put in chat because I'm looking at the form. So that one is correct. Andrew assured me earlier today that the demo day QR code is correct. So hopefully this helps. If not, we definitely need to post it in Disco, Andrew, so everybody can access that. And then if you have not yet checked in, remember, in order to graduate, you have to attend 6 sessions and do a demo. So don't forget to sign in when you're here. Okay, so Wednesday, we're going to be having our legal entity and legal considerations talk on Wednesday over at CSN, and then we'll be having a mentoring session. So if anybody has any questions, now's the time to pipe up, or else we'll call it a night.
Sorry, is this session for the entities going to happen on Zoom as well, or is just in person?
Oh no, we do all the sessions, even the stuff on Wednesday before we get to the mentor hour, that is on Zoom. And it's the same Zoom link.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming tonight. Thanks for sticking extra. Appreciate it. And I see a lot of potential partnerships among the people that we have in our group. So as Neelam did, don't be shy. Reach out to other people.